got this really great sort of anti-bullying message, which I think is really important and certainly, critical at this point in our society. And I think it's got a very sweet heart, but also a very good message, to be yourself and stand up for yourself and stand up for others who are bullied. So that's really, I think, the most important thing about the movie. If there is a message, that's the one. And the second thing I'm really proud of is, we took the biggest action star in the world, Dwayne Johnson, and made him the funny guy, and then we took the funniest guy in the world, or one of them at least, and made him the straight man. So they're each playing sort of opposites, and I think they do it great. They do it with real plum. Dwayne's really, just in person, he's very charming, and he's smart, of course, but he's also he's very funny in person. But that's different than being a comedian, right? They're not the same thing. But if you've seen Dwayne on any of his Saturday Night Live gigs, especially the last one, I mean, he's so funny. And I was really impressed. I mean, that was certainly the biggest kind of leap. Like, it's one thing to have a funny guy play a straight man. They can usually pull that off. But to take a big action star and have him need to be the engine of comedy or the source of comedy, that's a leap for both the director and the actor. And I'm so glad we took it. I can't wait for audiences to see Dwayne be Bob, to be as funny as he is. The buddy cop genre is, or buddy picture is, it's one of my favorites. And when it's done right, it's just such a great time at the theater, right? But a big part of that is the two leads, the two buddies, right? The chemistry between those two. And that's not really a function of directing. It's not even really a function of writing, although it is to some extent in terms of setting up scenarios and situations and writing an Oscar and Felix character, writing two characters that don't see things the same way, that react differently to the same stimuli, right? But it's a function of that magic pixie dust of film, right? It's something you cross your fingers for and hope you get, and we certainly did in Central. They're so great together. Though Kevin and Dwayne are they come in very different packages. They're very similar people in terms of their work ethic. I mean, they're both incredibly hardworking, very smart. They're really gracious with other people and generous. But I think my favorite thing is that they both take the work seriously, but not themselves seriously, and that's a real nice thing to have. This big sort of cartoon light bulb went on over my head of like, of course, right? Like, if you were picked on and kind of pimply and overweight in high school and were made fun of course you would leave high school and transform yourself into a cartoonish superhero, right? But that inside you're still that same kid from high school. It was just like a delicious idea to get to write. And that scene where Bob and Calvin have to go see the high school bully for some information brings all of that full circle. So you're right to call it out, that it shows that even if you transform yourself, if you don't do the work on the inside, you're still the same person. You still haven't changed. And so when Bob's confronted by Trevor, that here's a man who could kill you in 3 seconds if he wanted to, but he's a shaking puddle. He feels he reverts right back to his high school self. Kevin's known for comedy and Dwayne's known for action. And though in the film, Dwayne's character is probably given more of the funny stuff to do, Bob's character is given more of the funny stuff to do, and Kevin Hart's character of Calvin is more the straight man. There's no shortage of Dwayne Johnson action in this picture, and Kevin Hart, I mean, he makes you laugh left, right, and center. So I think we get the best of all worlds. You get a little Kevin Hart being serious and a little Dwayne Johnson being funny, but they both provide laughs and action.
Una spia e mezzo, da giovedì 14 luglio al cinema.